Okay, so today we're just going to go over the mistakes that we made in the Kahoot on Friday. I have to say, you guys did a fabulous, fabulous job. This Kahoot showed so much improvement over last time. I saw that you guys watched the Ed puzzle with the, kind of reviewing some of the mistakes that we made when we played it previously, and it showed. You guys really did so much better. I'm so impressed. So we're just going to go over the mistakes that we made. So here's the questions, and it tells us where the mistakes were. So up in the air means it hasn't been decided yet. So what are examples of something up in the air? So naming all 50 states, that isn't a plan one way or the other. So when it says when up in the air means it hasn't been decided yet, that means that there's no plan. So that is not an example of it. You do not have a plan. That is exactly an example of it. This one, up in the air means it's not decided yet. Everyone got that right. Everyone got this one right. The next one, up in the air, means it hasn't been decided yet. So it's the same phrase that we're having trouble with. What's an example of something that's up in the air? Most of you said you haven't decided what you're going to do today. Perfect. If you planned your next vacation, so this one here, if you planned your next vacation, then you do have a plan. It has been decided. So that is not an example of up in the air. For this one, rise to the challenge means working harder when something is difficult. What's an example of rising to the challenge? So an example of that would be losing, then practicing every day for a month, and then after that winning. So remember we said rising to the challenge has 3 parts. First, something is hard, then you work harder, so practicing. So it was hard, that's why you lost. Then you worked harder because you practiced every day. And then you see an improvement, and after that winning. So that is the perfect answer. Not trying your best is not rising to the challenge. That's stinky. Okay, the next one, and again, so many questions where everybody got all of them right. I'm really happy about that. A bump in the road is a problem that makes it hard to do something. An example of a bump in the road would be starting to bake something and realizing you're missing an ingredient. You're trying to cook it and now you can't because you don't have everything you need. If you started to bake something and everything went perfectly, that's not rising to the challenge. That's getting something done, getting it done well. That's a wonderful thing, but I'm sorry, I mixed it up and I said rising to the challenge. That's not a bump in the road. If you started to do something and it went perfectly, it went perfectly. It went wonderfully. There was no bumps. It was smooth, we say, actually, in that situation. Let's see. We're already on to more. And again, so many that I'm just scrolling past because so many of us got them right. I wanted to ride my bike, but it rained. So riding my bike was plan A. Then I hit a bump in the road when it rained, right? I watched a movie instead. Riding my bike was plan B. And most of you said false, and you're right. Riding my bike was my plan A. Watching a movie was my plan B. It's what I did when I hit that bump in the road. So it's false. Riding my bike was plan A, not plan B. And then, again, so many more correct. Number 17, it was hot and I was tired. I didn't feel like running, but I rose to the challenge. What did I do? So it was hot and I was tired. That's the challenge part, right? That's that first part that we need. Then I need to work harder. So if I'm working harder to rise to that challenge, that means I have to be getting up and running. So I have to ran anyway. That's the right answer. Standing up, that's literally rising, not rising to the challenge. And that's it. That's all the questions that we got wrong. Great job, guys.